is related to necromandio, because necromandio is the oracle of the dead persons, right? And necromandio, as I told you, it is the unique, because we talk about oracle of the dead persons. I suppose you know the oracle of Delphi, which is very popular, or maybe another one, we call it Dodona. It's in the surrounding area. We talk about oracles, but not oracles like oracles of dead persons. No, it was the priest, and they used to foresee the future. The oracle of the dead person was something different. It was like the meeting of the alive person with the dead person, and the dead person used to talk and to foresee the future. Let's say, for example, a husband that loses his wife. His wife is dead. He goes to necromandio. There's a kind of procedure that I will explain you later on in the archaeological site. And then, at the end, he's able to see the soul of the dead person, of his wife. And his wife will say maybe, listen, my dear husband, in the future you're going to have this disease, or you're going to meet another woman, you're going to have a family, something like that. That's the meaning of necromantio. Another thing that I would like to tell you, maybe you have heard of the river Styx. Okay, it is always in this area. We have got so many rivers. We have got Vouvos, we have got Mavros, Acheron, which is maybe the most famous, and Styx. Styx is very popular, is very famous. You know why? Because of Achilles. Achilles, was the Greek warrior. He took part of the war of Troy, and his mother was Thetis. His father was Peleus. His mother wanted to make him immortal. That's why when Achilles was a baby, his mother grabbed him from the right angle and she dipped him into the water of the holy spring. So the whole body became immortal apart from his heel. That was a secret known among the gods. And we know that Achilles took part at the War of Troy. The War of Troy was between the Greeks on the one side and the Trojans on the other side. And Achilles took part. He was the most handsome and the most powerful Greek warrior. But the gods knew about that secret of Achilles. So Apollo, he was in favor of the Trojans, revealed the secret of Achilles to Paris. Paris was the prince of Troy. So Paris, with his arrow, killed Achilles on his heel. Until now, and that's why Achilles dies very young at the War of Troy, and he remained in the history as, let's say the most handsome and, Brad Pitt in the film, which is, many know Achilles because of that film, many people, I mean. And so he remained in history. And till now, we have this phrase, Achilles' heel, right? I think you will find this phrase all around the world, and it means the weak part of our personality and of our character. Even Achilles tendon in medicine, it's the same. I mean, we have this term, Achilles heel or Achilles tendon. I think this is quite interesting. Of course, this is Greek mythology, and this is what Homer claims in his text Iliad. But, many people ask me if, in the mythology, what is mythology, if it's like a kind of, it is, let's say, we talk about, let's say, fairy tales, but there is a base of truth. We have some base of truth, because Homer describes, for example, the War of Troy. We have the War of Troy. That happened for real. And Troy is a place between Greece and Turkey. We call it Elispontos nowadays, this area. And the archaeologists so far have found 7 ancient cities of Troy. So we had the War of Troy, but not for the eyes of the beautiful Helen, I suppose for issues of power, And maybe Achilles existed, but he was very strong, that's why he became very popular, but not immortal, of course. That's not possible. Anyway, I can say that on the mythology, you will find also some traces of truth. I mean, it's a kind of combination. And also, in ancient Greece, they used mythology, this is another issue, to explain, like the rain, the snow, the tempest, many things. Because they didn't have knowledge, they didn't know about science, So they thought about it was, let's say, Zeus with his thunder became very upset and angry for some reason. So suddenly we had a tempest, for example. And Olympus is the highest mountain of Greece. It is in the area of Thessalia. So you have to go further after Epirus. We have got Thessalia we call this area in the Greek language. And over there we have got the mountain Olympus. It is the highest in Greece. It is about 2,900 meters high. On the peak of the mountain we have got the throne of Zeus. Because Zeus, or Dias, was the king of the gods. And then, from the ancient religion, we pass to the new religion, which is Christianity. That's why in many archaeological sites, and when we have temples like Doric temples, Ionic temples, you will see on top the construction of some churches, early Christian basilicas, because we had the new religion and the first Christians used that material from the temples, like the marble, for example, or the stone, to make the first churches. That's why, for example, now in Necromandio, I told you it's a complex, right? So we have got Hellenistic times, that means 3rd century, 4th century before Christ, and after the ruins on top, we have got the monastery of Saint John the Baptist, and also the Ottoman house, as I mentioned. Anyway, I passed from the mythology to the modern times, and from antiquity to the modern times, and from the ancient religion to the modern religion. In Greece, the majority were Christian Orthodox. The majority. Of course, we have got Catholics, we have got Protestants, we have got, I can say, all the religions.
And we also have people that they still believe in the 12 gods.
Ah, yeah. Sure.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
And they celebrate every year near Mount Olympus. And it's a lot of people because they believe that Christianity killed the ancient civilization.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Καλημέρα.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so I was telling you about, so we have got many, we are Christian Orthodox, and now in our churches you will not see any statues. For example, the Catholic churches, you will see statues. In Greece, if you go to our churches, Orthodox ones, you will not see statues, because the statues are connected to the old religion, to the 12 gods of the mountain Olympus. Many people ask me, why you don't have statues? I mean, only icons. The icons are the religious paintings, right? But no statues, because it was a way, let's say, to forget the ancient religion and to pass to the new one. If you go to a church in Greece and you can see statues, it means we talk about a Catholic church. Because in Greece we have a small community of the Catholic faithful, especially on the islands. Because, let's talk a little bit about history. In Greece, we had ancient times, Roman times, Byzantine times, and we had the Ottoman Empire on the one side and the Venetian Empire on the other side, always in conflict. So the mainland of Greece, like here, was under the Ottoman Empire for about 400 years. Imagine a little bit. It's really long. So the influence was really very strong. While some other places like the island of Crete, the Ionian Islands, or some other parts, they had also only the Venetian rule, or some of them they had both. For example, if you go to the Ionian Islands, you will see different culture, because over there the Venetian rule, the French, the English rule, but never the Turkish rule. Here we had the Turks, and Ioannina, maybe I know, Ioannina because of the airport, right?
Yeah.
So, there is an airport, it has got the name Pyros because of the king of Epirus, and Ioannina was liberated by the Turks in 1913, quite recently. So it's only a few years. That's why if you go to Ioannina and to the surrounding place, you will see the food, the architecture, the dialect are very similar to the Ottoman ones. They have got many traditions, many customs. and while the Venetian ones were totally different. For example, where you had the Venetian rule, you were free to go to school to learn your language, the Greek one, write, reading, while on the mainland of Greece we had the so-called Krifoschoio, meaning, schools.
Night school.
Huh?
Night school.
Yeah, the night school, because the Ottomans didn't leave persons, local persons, to practice religion and to go to school. They should be in secret, all this. And in my opinion, because on the mainland of Greece we had the Greek-Turkish War for about 400 years. Two were the elements that helped very much the Greek ones to go on and to survive. The language and religion, the tradition, let's say.
So the Ottoman Empire was more oppressive.
Yeah,
More.
a lot. You cannot compare because, for example, Crete, it's a big island between Greece and Africa. We call it Crete. And over there, Crete was under the Venetian rule till almost the 1669. But then the Turks occupied the island. So many of the inhabitants, the Cretans, left the island because they want to have a free life.
Yeah.
So they came to the Ionian Islands. They went to the Ionian Islands. We had the Venetian rule, so they were free in going to school, in expressing their opinion. Life was much better.
Yeah. Interesting.
The Greek history and the mythology, of course, is really, how can I say, there are a lot of things to say. I try to focus on the main important information and to make you understand how was what we had in ancient times and also modern times, because many people, they don't know about modern Greece, modern times. What is happening after the Byzantine Empire, for example. Well, the Greek-Turkish War was a critical period for Greece. We talk about for 400 years. It was a great influence. And I told you, imagine Ioannina, which is a big town. The population is 100,000 people, plus the surrounding area almost around 2,000. They are liberated by the Turks in 1913. It's really impressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
For a small country.
Yeah. Imagine Greece is a small country. The capital is Athens. Over there 4.5 million of inhabitants. The whole Greece, 11 million. So we're a small
That's like
country.
Scotland.
Yeah.
So a very similar story to Scotland.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The British Empire, the oppression of the British Empire could be compared to the Ottomans. Very interesting. I'm making all these connections. This is
Okay,
very cool.
I'm glad. So would
Just
you like to
take a look at the water over there now. Look at the color, because it happens in some spots that is very deep. The deeper, the more blue and clear it is. I mean, you can go closer, take photos if you like, or walk a little bit there.
Use all the cameras now.
Yeah, camera here.
Something left.
And the temperature in this river, Anna tells me
We should
that it's the same winter
buy
and
a head
summer,
mount.
regardless of how.
Just keep it over here.
it is outside, it is here.
I have it when I'm biking. Head mount. No,
10,
not.
12.
I don't like it when I walk. I have a mount for the chest with me if you want it. I'm mere control and I have a display here.
That's cool.
Well, it's difficult. In the States, people say it's so great to me.
You can-
But Caleb is pretty hardcore.
You will edit the footage, no? Later on.
This is they can mount it on your arm.
And stuff, yeah.
Keep going, or are we going back?
I think, listen, because of for protection, let's say, you better avoid this area. I mean, we walk here. If you want, you can take some pictures, or you can see, And then we have 20 minutes. I mean, 20 past, you have to be at the bus. The route, the way is the same, always the same. Okay.
Okay.
Is that a toilet? Borta?
Είναι πολύ ωραία διαδρομή. Είναι ιδιαίτερη.
Δεν θα πάμε παραπάνω.
Όχι, να σας πω κάτι γιατί από ό,τι λέει και αρχηγός είναι λίγο δεν θέλει να μήπως κάποιος γλιστρήσει κλπ. Οπότε θέλει να είμαστε όλοι μαζί.
Συγγνώμη, από εδώ που πάνε οι τουρίστες.
Λοιπόν, από εδώ λοιπόν σας
那是了，那你是有决心哦。
我操！
你是不是一半为了女儿？那有没有什么感觉？身体有没有什么感觉？